Hello everyone, sorry it took me so long to get this video out to you. I've just been working on my thumbnail skills, hopefully it shows and they look a little better. And I've also just been thinking about the kind of videos that I want to do. I do enjoy making guide videos and builds, but I would just like to be a little bit more creative with my videos. So hopefully when those videos start coming out, you'll give them a chance and enjoy them. Today, for you guys, I have a build that was designed for hostile takeovers. It's one of two. This is the higher damage version. I have a tanky, unkillable version that will be coming out as soon as I can get it out to you guys. These builds are not just good at hostile takeovers though, they're also great for fort plundering and pretty good at events as well. If you are doing events though, you'll probably want to change the furniture up a bit. But we'll talk more about that here in a minute. Really quickly, I just wanted to touch on the percentages of hostile takeovers and how much progression you get for NPC ships, towers, and player ships. NPC ships give around 1.5%, towers give around 6%, and other player ships give around 10%. So if there is a tower, try to be the one who destroys it. And if you sink an enemy player's ship, use that time after to go for towers and NPC ships to help that percentage. So as you can see in all these clips here, we did Kuharabu, we did La Peste with just me and one other person before they did this recent change that I'm really kind of unhappy about. It takes the entire server. But here in just a moment, we'll show most of a hostile takeover. I'll edit it down to only really show me sinking the other player ships and the important parts so that you don't have to waste your time and we can keep this video as short as possible. So as you can see, I'm already in the lead a little bit because I've been sinking other player ships and that tower that was right there to the left. As soon as it started, I took that tower out immediately, put me way in the lead, and sank another ship. So I'm going to go ahead and just start attacking him now that I'm in the lead. Don't have to worry about it. I'm actually going to sink another ship here because I'm just so confident about him not being able to sink me because he's just not doing very much damage already. And then when he comes in, I miss all my shots here. A bunch of them do hit the sails, but they didn't actually hit the ship the way I was hoping. But no worries, we're still able to do a ton of damage to him and get the sink on him. Since I knew I was reloading and turning, I was just bracing while I reloaded and turned. And then we were sinking ships while we were waiting on him to respawn. Sank that ship, turned, saw him. Just start unloading on him again. Looks like he may already be on fire from the enemy ships. I couldn't tell there. He definitely was already starting to take fire damage. Yeah, he was on fire from the enemy ships, I think. I don't think I set him on fire there. Those noxious cloud from the La Peste mortar, you don't have to worry too much about those. They really don't do too much damage to this build. You really have to worry more about what it does to your stamina. So try to get out of them for stamina's sake, but not really for damage sake. And this build's very forgiving. You don't have to pay too much attention to your health until you get really low. At which point you'll be taking very, very little damage thanks to the Black Prince armor we'll be using. And our furniture works really, really well with that Black Prince armor. So I barely get the sink on him at the very last second here. And so we won that hostile takeover, no problem. Alright, so we're going to go through this pretty quick here because we don't want this video to be too long. So if you want to see all the stats on each item, you can just pause the video. For our ship, we are using the Padewakang. We chose the Paddy for the detonate perk, which gives us a chance to do extra damage, AoE explosive damage, and the extra 50% damage to structures so we can destroy towers quickly. For our weapon ports, we have the Dardanelles on all 4 sides. The reason is that they are higher DPS than the fire bombards, and bombards are a must on the Paddy. Our auxiliary weapon is the Termites 3, and although the extra explosive damage we could potentially get for using a mortar here would be nice, the 1k damage we could get from the detonate passive is not as good as the extra 50% damage that we get to structures. And we need something to set the enemies on fire, because when they're on fire we get 100% chance of activating detonate. So maybe one day we will get a mortar that does fire damage, but until then this is the best in slot for hostile takeovers. I will say the rockets get ate up very quickly, so it can be hard to keep enough ammo. If you are struggling, I'll link a video in the top right hand corner of the screen here, and this is a guide for farming repair kits, but you can use the materials from this farm to also craft rockets. For our armor, we're using the Black Prince, which reduces our damage taken by 50% when our whole health is below 33%. This is going to work really well with our furniture, you'll see in a minute. So for our major furniture piece, we are using the iron capstan. This piece is getting overlooked because you have to be anchored to get the effect, and most of the time you don't want the threat generation. But in hostile takeovers, you have to stay in a small area, so anchoring is a fine trade for the massive 15% damage mitigation we get. And if you combine the 15% damage mitigation from this and the 50% damage mitigation we get from the Black Prince armor, we're getting 65% damage mitigation when anchored and below 50% health. So we're only taking a total of 35% damage when we're anchored and below 30% health. 33% health, sorry, not 50. So doing this does make us more susceptible to getting boarded, but if you are smart about it, you can still avoid it, and something about the amount of damage mitigation makes it to where we can survive a board sometimes. I know it sounds weird, but it is possible, and I have clips of it on the tanky build, so stay tuned for that. As for the threat generation, what that does is just draw NPCs to come to us and want to attack us. Now I know it doesn't sound great having all the NPCs attacking you, but trust me, you can handle it with this build, and it will help you win these takeovers, not just help you sink players. So if you're doing events or open world PvP, you might want to try the water tank or the rigging station here. They can be very good, because you're probably not going to be able to anchor very much in open world PvP. At least not on this build. On a snow it's a little different. I've done it with this build on the snow almost exactly like this, and it was really good. So the bombard works increase our damage with the Dardanelles, plain and simple. Rum Pantry helps us recover our stamina so we can brace more. And Sterile Gallery increases our maximum stamina so we can brace more as well, because we are a lower health ship compared to others in the game, and we need the survivability. Now the best food would probably be the sea monster food, but it's very expensive, so a good other option if you can't be bothered with that is the ragout. The brace mitigation is needed over brace stamina because our furniture helps with the stamina, and we need some help with how much damage we can brace with the Paddy, and the food is great for that. Also, the crew damage isn't bad either. For our repair kit, we are using the Enhanced Repair Kit 1s. I do think this is the best all-around repair kit in the game, and it works great on our build here. Again, if you are struggling with having enough repair kits, I do have a farming video on those, so go check that out. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you like the build, drop a like and let me know what you think and about your experiences with the build in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you want more Skull and Bones ship builds in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.